So a few years ago, popular commentary YouTuber Leafy Is Here got banned from YouTube. YouTube has banned the controversial creator Calvin Lee Vale, better known as Leafy Is Here, for repeatedly violating the company's harassment policies. The ban follows big changes to YouTube's harassment policy, meant to deter behavior that in part help creators in the commentary community like Leafy develop a following. As you all know, I heavily disagreed with this decision, and basically spoke out against it on YouTube and on Twitter at the time in, videos and tweets and stuff like that. And a lot of people at the time agreed with me and spoke out against this ban, but on the other hand, you also had those who cheered it on and thought it was justified for him to be booted from the platform. Some of them personally just didn't like him and thought he was kind of cringy, so they thought it was cool. Not really a principled position for them, just kind of like, he's kind of annoying, so he should get banned. And then you had people who thought that he was like a bully or he was like pushing some kind of political agenda, and they thought that's the reason he should be banned. But since then, where has Leafy been? We'll answer that question today. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark, and after he got banned back in the day, Leafy made several attempts at some sort of return to the platform in 2020. He really wanted to get social media relevance again in general. He's talked about this before, but he basically talked about how banning really sucked, and it's not like he didn't care. He definitely was pretty mad about it, and he saw it as like an outlet that was ripped away from him, self-expression, right? He made a new channel called Leafy Cast and started uploading some videos there. I believe he made a total of 5 videos, one of which was him sharing his thoughts on the ban, as well as telling a story about the time he had some issues with paying taxes. He describes how the IRS came to his door, and supposedly he had a lot of unpaid back taxes, which resulted in a large fine.
I think there's probably going to be about 30 to 40K of you. Everything has been really messy since all the bullshit ended up happening a few months ago, but I guess this would be episode 1. I'm not really sure what to expect, so I didn't bother dropping a bunch of money on the studio, and if it ends up doing really well, I'll do all the steps, I'll scale it up.
Well, this channel reached 20, maybe 30,000 subscribers in a few days, but was banned shortly after. He had another channel as well on YouTube. I can't remember if it was slightly before or slightly after this point, but he had another YouTube channel that he tried to upload to, and YouTube banned that one as well. And that shows that YouTube still had their eye on him and did not want him coming back anytime soon. It's not like these were super relevant channels. I mean, they only had, like I said, 10, 20,000 subscribers, but it shows that YouTube employees were specifically combing through YouTube videos looking for him to return so that they could knock him off the platform, They really did not want him coming back. I think they really didn't like the media attention that they got from that, basically accusing them of enabling harassment, which could pose a risk to advertisers. So the only platform he really had as a result of this repeated banning from YouTube was his Instagram account, Leafy Is Lucky. And this account was basically just a place for him to make dumb posts about his life, post pictures of his car, wherever he is in the moment, he would just post dumb stuff, little life updates. Basically the same that I do on my own Instagram account, which is called Tom But Dark, and you should follow it right now. But following this, we didn't get any real updates from him. He basically dipped off the internet. He had been banned from Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and at that point, all he had was Instagram, and even there, he was very, very inactive, Now, he was actually seen at Keemstar's birthday party not too long ago, where he took a selfie with Technicals, the commentary smash creator type guy. There was also a story from this time about how he had accidentally backed his car into a bouncer with Billy the Fridge at that birthday party, who had to save him from this debacle apparently and explain to the bouncer and try to get him to calm down because the guy was very, very angry with Leafy, and justifiably so, right? I mean, he backed his car over the dude. I'd be pretty mad too. But the guy seems to be just kind of dicking around from what I can tell, driving around the country, eating at restaurants, and staying at hotels, but not really doing much productive otherwise. And this plays into another issue which he apparently has, which Keemstar has said that has been affecting him for quite a while. Keemstar claims that he has a drug addiction. What I'm going to play now is an excerpt from a stream from Augie RFC, a friend of the show, where Keem divulged some details about this, and personally, I don't think Keemstar has a big reason to lie about Leafy at this point. He obviously supported his return. He wants him to come back on YouTube, and he's gotten over all their old beef, so I think he probably was telling the truth here, and honestly, it's kind of concerning to hear what he talked about, right? It's kind of a sad ending, or a sad part of the Leafy story,
Oh, I'm gonna have to do an intervention with Leafy.
Oh yeah, you're bringing him back again?
No, I'm actually gonna have to do an intervention with him. He needs an intervention.
Like
talk to Leafy
like intervention.
Talk to Leafy like 3 times a month.
Yeah.
And 2 of those times he's cracked out of his fucking mind.
Nice. Hasn't he always been like that though, like forever?
True, but it's like bad now because he's like a grown up. Like,
yeah, true. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I guess
At
like
least
back
he
in the
never
day,
like
too,
grew
it's
up.
like,
That's the
you
thing.
could give the excuse like, oh, like he's on the daily YouTube grind, like he needs the fucking Adderall to make
Get
him
those
sustain his upload
videos.
schedule and shit. But then now it's like, what does he even need that shit for? Does he still use that shit?
I don't know, dude. I think my boy be doing like drugs, alcohol, like every day, dude. And he's got his
Why?
license.
Keemstar claims that he has to do some kind of drug intervention with Leafy and get him off of these substances. Keem has said stuff like this for a while, basically saying that whenever he calls Leafy, he's never sober. He's mentioned stuff about this before on Drama Alert, I think, and stuff like that. But realistically, at this point in his life, the dude is nearing 30 years old, you know? When you're 21, this kind of stuff is more accepted because you're younger. Maybe you're in college where a bunch of people are frequently partying, so it's kind of accepted more. Maybe you're studying a lot, so if you're doing, you know, stimulants, people will basically excuse it as like, oh, well, he's got to study, right? But, you know, by the time you get past college, you kind of have to turn your life around, or you find yourself as just a straight up, you know, addict, and you're not like doing it socially anymore. You're doing it just alone because you need it to function, right? And now at the age he is now, I believe he's 28 years old. This is obviously a very bad path he's going down that he's had a struggle getting off of, and I don't even know if he's interested in stopping. I don't know if he knows how much of a problem this is, you know? Now, he's been tweeting even since back in the day when he got his bends about how he was pulled over for speeding. He obviously gets a sort of high off of taking these risks, but now this is coming to a head, negatively affecting his life. He apparently even lost his driver's license temporarily.
He's got his license taken away from him.
I did see that. He posted.
Wait. That got taken away for. I thought he got it back after that. Because I know he got arrested and whatnot. But
he got arrested. He lost his license for like 3 months. He finally got it back. Tonight he fucking calls me drunk, and he's like, "Oh, I'm wasted." I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, "Listen, man, Tom Brady. Tom Brady." Like, what's wrong with Tom Brady? He's like,
Okay.
I put $1,000 on Tom Brady and he lost the fucking game. I'm out $1,000. He goes, the stock market, there's no winning. I'm like, yeah, the economy. He's like, no, there's no winning. I go, well, short stuff. He's like, I'm not that fucking crazy. I'm like, well, what are you doing right now? You're in your car driving? He's like, yeah, I'm fucking driving. I'm like, well, how drunk are you? He's like, I'm not drunk where I can't fucking drive. Like, I can see the road. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you're close to home? Close to home or whatever. Yeah, I'll get there fast. I'll get there real fast. By the way, I lost my license for speeding. Oh yeah, I saw that. Like, yeah, I got it back though. He's like, what I got to know is that like, or all I have to do is just like follow the speed limit. I'm like, didn't you just tell me you were speeding? He's like, well, yeah, I'm trying to get there fast because I'm drunk. So
Yeah, Leafy needs to make videos again. This is a man that has no outlet. He has no outlet to express his fucking mind.
And I'm not trying to like go in on him for this and say I'm a totally different person because, well, as some of you know, I've been pulled over for speeding before and had to pay a pretty significant fine, which sucked, as well as pay a lawyer. And when I was in college, I had somewhat of a substance issue. You know, I was doing some stuff. That being said, I think it's clear both of these are still issues Calvin is having, given this recent information that he hasn't made a significant effort to get over as far as I'm aware, you know? And Keem seems to think that this guy needs help and needs to be taken to rehab or something. He claims he's paranoid all the time. He's constantly on substances. He's unable to deal with his life as is. I mean, it's kind of a sad state of affairs. I feel bad for the guy. You know, you would think with the money he's making, he would be starting a family or something and putting down some roots somewhere, but instead he's just, I don't even fucking know, doing nothing, man. On September 12th, Leafy uploaded a series of Instagram stories revealing that he was arrested by police and spent time in jail for not paying a speeding ticket. In the videos in question, Leafy reveals that he was pulled over while driving and was arrested for not paying a speeding ticket. On top of that, his car was towed away from the scene. I didn't pay one speeding ticket, next thing you know, put your hands behind your back. Had to spend a few days in jail. Not a fun experience. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, he revealed. In his other stories, he revealed that he got his car back after being released and doesn't plan on going back to jail anytime soon, which is obviously good. You don't want to go back to jail. While his other social media profiles have either been suspended or deleted entirely, Leafy has maintained 100,000 followers on Instagram with over 15,000 likes on his post announcing he was released from jail. So, Chris Chan, Leafy, and Andrew Tate all got out of jail around the same time, guys. Good for them. I mean, this stuff has even made Keem reevaluate the whole drama that he had with Leafy back in the day, and he sort of alludes to the idea that because Leafy is f***ed in the head from these substances, that he got paranoid and ended up f***ing him over back in the day. And it may not have been a super malicious thing at the time. It may have been because of whatever he's on, you know? And I think because he was an asshole on YouTube, a lot of people do not like him and will cheer this on. They'll be like, oh, well, he got what he deserved. But in my eyes, addiction is a serious issue. And if he is actually addicted, if Keemstar is not bluffing or anything, if, you know, this is the reality of the situation, then I hope the dude can get sober and get some help for whatever he's going through, you know? Adderall is a powerful substance. Well, those are the updates we were getting for a while over the past year, 2, 3 years about Leafy. And the most recent news is that he's actually back on Twitter. As you guys know, since Elon Musk has been in office as the president of the nation of Bird app, a lot of people have been getting their accounts unsuspended suspended. Not me, of course, unfortunately, because why would I? Why would Elon Musk take pity on me? But a lot of very controversial people who said some raunchy things back in the day have been getting their accounts back on Twitter, and most recently, Leafy was actually one of these people. He came back to Twitter the other day and said, "Thank God for Elon Musk," and he would follow this up by saying something I cannot say on YouTube, but it involved a certain word that starts with N, and this caused him to trend with a bunch of people mauling that he was back on a sizable platform, basically saying he's too old to be saying that word, saying, "Oh, you're white," you know, the usual stuff you would kind of see from someone saying that kind of thing in the modern day. This guy, not sure who he is, said that Leafy should end his own life. He then asked for people to compare Leafy to Low Tier God. A lot of people included funny clips of Low Tier God in the comment section as a result. I unfortunately can't play all these videos because they're very anti-terms of service, but if you know anything about Low Tier God, then you can probably guess what he was saying. You know, the whole lightning meme or whatever. You guys know. And Twitter itself actually ended up getting rid of that tweet he made as a result. I assume this was from mass reporting from people who didn't like his use of said word that starts with a certain letter, but I don't really know if that's the case. I don't really know if he got reported or if some Twitter bot just picked it up and was like, "Hey, buddy, you can't be saying that stuff." I wonder what their policy is for that kind of thing. Like, if you're black, can you say it on Twitter and they won't suspend you, but if you're white, they do suspend you? I really wonder what the deal is there. And as I said, a lot of people were upset by him tweeting this and decided to ridicule him, making fun of his appearance, which is whatever. I mean, back in the day, Leafy was a big bully on YouTube, so I feel it's only fair game for people to go after him with some of the same tactics, right? End of the day, he was known for toxicity, so it's not like he's whining about it or anything, but if he were to, obviously he would be getting shit for that because, like, that's the same behavior he took part in. You know, he's not a victim or anything. He's not like a totally innocent person here, right? At least in regards to the, you know, making fun of people issue. Low Tier God can create entire storylines with continuity and structure centered around your mom in extreme detail off the dome. Just vile, degrading shit that no human has ever articulated into a sentence. Leafy would just be like, this is cancer. Hold on, guys, I'll do my impression. Guys, this is fucking cancer. This 35-year-old fucking man, Low Tier God, is telling me to do what? And I mean, I can't even deny this, you know, the reality of this tweet. I don't watch Low Tier God, so I don't really know what he does apart from a few clips I've seen, but Leafy was never the most creative person when it came to making content. I mean, what else is there to say? The dude himself would probably admit that, especially in 2016, he just did not give a shit with the content and the roast, you know? I would still defend his right to be on YouTube and you know, his right to speak. And if I had to guess, a lot of people would disagree with me on this, but I also would, you know, put forward the idea that he was a big cultural force on the internet that's important and a piece of internet history. You know, he was extremely famous. He had a big impact on YouTube, on their community guidelines, on their rules. He was a big deal, and for that, I think he's an important piece of the culture. But the reason that Leafy's being compared to Low Tier God is because they were both banned from YouTube and cannot come back, right? As far as I know, at least, they can't come back. And people also dug up all manner of old posts about him, you know, recent stuff as well as old Snapchat stories that just kind of call him unfunny or lame or whatever else. And now comes to the time we've all been waiting for, guys. The time for me to say that I don't really hate Leafy and don't really want him to be banned, yada yada. You guys know the whole spiel by now. Freedom of speech. I'm sure you're sick of me talking about this at this point, but I don't know, I'm passionate about it, so whatever. Obviously, regardless of his content back in the day, the dude was someone I watched growing up, so unless he does something super heinous, then I'm still a fan of the dude. As for the N-word stuff, well, I mean, how can I really talk on this one, right? You know. Turkey Tom! So the question now remains, what does the future hold? Well, take someone like Monkey Jones, for example, right? He was banned from YouTube, and his new channels were also banned at the time when he tried to come back, much like Leafy. But eventually, he made the Simmy and Jimmy channel a few months later, and that's been up on YouTube ever since. I think it's been up for 2-3 years at this point, and he's still going strong on YouTube. Nobody's really tried to fuck with him. He's managed to garner almost 200,000 subscribers, and, you know, he's still around. And then you take someone like Leafy, and you have to question, like, what is the comparison between these two, and would YouTube be more inclined to ban Leafy than, you know, Monkey Jones? I mean, on one hand, Leafy is more high profile. He'd probably cause more of a risk to advertisers, whereas Monkey Jones was kind of just an edgy content creator. So it's possible they would treat Leafy as more of a risk to their brand, right?
You know, I would love people saying, "Oh, Leafy, come back." I would love to see Leafy come back and try to exist in the landscape today. Like, the content that he was making would never fly on YouTube today, and you have to adapt and overcome the fact that, like, you can't even curse, bro. Like I don't know.
You're a fat, fucking disgusting piece of shit.
Now, could he potentially come back to YouTube? I would argue, honestly, yeah, if he came back now, he probably could. He could come back under a new name that's not so obviously him and probably post content. I mean, Sneeko has done that. Some other people have done that. And I think if he's just kind of careful with the videos he makes and does not call anyone out like he used to or make fun of their appearance, you know, blatantly violate the new terms of service and community guidelines, then it's possible he could return to YouTube and accumulate some kind of audience on the platform, right? Will it be 5 million subscribers? Probably not. It could be a few 100,000, though, with some consistency for sure. I honestly do think so. Alternatively, if YouTube YouTube doesn't work, if he doesn't want to go there, or if he comes back and he gets banned, he could go to Rumble or Kick or some alternative tech site and post stuff there, you know? Obviously, alt tech gets a bad rap, but these two platforms are pretty big right now, and they are indeed growing, and they market themselves explicitly as platforms that are less restrictive than YouTube, less restrictive than Twitch, and they're really trying to be alternatives, you know? Rumble is the YouTube alternative. They allow streaming there as well, and Kick is the Twitch alternative. And he could accumulate some audience there as one of these kind of anti-cancel culture people, you know? The issue in my eyes as far as fitting in with people like Sneeko or Andrew Tate or Fresh and Fit is, well, physically, Leafy is the kind of person they would probably make fun of and bully, right? But on the other hand, these dudes don't have a ton of conviction anyway. They need allies, and if Leafy was to go there and talk, you know, talk the talk, then it stands to reason he could have some kind of alliance with these people, and he could, you know, be a big cultural YouTube force. I sound so gay saying, nerdy saying this, but you get what I mean, okay? You understand. He actually announced while I was recording this video that he would be posting to Rumble sometime soon, which honestly I didn't think would happen. I thought he'd at least wait a little while to post again, but yeah, what those videos will be about or the impact they will have, I cannot say, but I will definitely be watching and following the story to keep you guys up to date because, you know, I'm interested in the story.
Oh, damn. Did you guys just hear that? I just got called a goddamn retard. Dude, I just got roasted. I just got dissed in a music video, dude. I just got diss-tracked. I just got fucking diss-tracked. I mean, I just got deconstructed like a goddamn Lego man, right?
And that about wraps up the story for today, but thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video and watched it all the way to the end, be sure to leave a like, leave a dislike if you disliked it, drop a comment down below with your thoughts, and follow my Instagram at TomButDark, and I'll catch you all in the next video very, very soon. Bye.